Have you ever been in a work meeting and someone says something like, "Let's get the ball rolling," and you nod, pretending to understand, but inside you're thinking, "What ball? Where is it rolling?"
Oh, Lily, absolutely. Or when a colleague says, "Can you fill me in?" and you're wondering if they need you to write notes in their notebook. It can be so confusing, right?
Exactly. Those moments are super common for English learners. And that's because English is full of these fantastic, sometimes tricky expressions we call idioms and phrasal verbs. They're everywhere, especially in the workplace.
They really are. And it's not just about understanding them. It's about being able to use them yourself to sound more natural, more confident, and really connect with your colleagues.
You got it, Ava. So welcome everyone to Thesaurus Thrive. I'm Lily, and I'm here with my amazing co-host, Ava. Today, we're diving deep into how to use idioms and phrasal verbs in the workplace.
That's right. We're going to break down some of the most common workplace idioms and phrasal verbs. We'll give you simple explanations, lots of examples, and even some practice sentences so you can start using them right away.
Our goal is to help you boost your English-speaking confidence and make you feel totally comfortable in any professional setting. So, let's get started.
Okay, Lily, let's kick things off with idioms. Can you give us a quick refresher on what an idiom actually is?
Of course, an idiom is a group of words whose meaning isn't obvious from the individual words themselves. It's like a secret code. If you just read the words, you wouldn't get the real meaning. It's often figurative, not literal.
A secret code, I like that. So it's not about the words separately, but the phrase as a whole. Give us an example that's common in the office.
All right, let's start with the one I mentioned earlier, to get the ball rolling. This means to start an activity or process, especially a big one. Think about a project or a discussion.
Let's get the ball rolling on this new marketing campaign. So it means let's start the marketing campaign.
Exactly. Or if you're in a meeting and things are slow, you might say, "Okay, everyone, let's get the ball rolling with the agenda." It just means let's initiate the discussion.
That's really clear. It's about taking the first step. What's another common one that people might hear a lot?
How about to think outside the box? This is a great one for creative problem solving. It means to think in an original or creative way, not in the usual or traditional way.
Oh, I love this one. My boss uses it all the time when we're brainstorming. We need to think outside the box to solve this problem. So find new solutions, right?
Spot on, Ava. It's about being innovative. Instead of doing things the same old way, you think outside the box. You look for different perspectives. For example, our sales are down. We really need to think outside the box to attract new customers.
I can definitely see how that encourages creativity. It's a nice way to say, be more creative without sounding too direct.
Right? It makes it sound more engaging. Okay, next up, to touch base. This is super common for quick check-ins.
To touch base. So touching a base? No, I know it's not literal. What does it mean?
Good one, Ava. It means to briefly meet or communicate with someone, usually to discuss something or catch up on progress. It's not a long formal meeting. It's just a quick chat.
I'll touch base with you after the client call to discuss the next steps, so I'll talk to you briefly later.
Exactly. Or let's touch base next week to see how the project is going. It's very informal but professional at the same time. It builds connection without demanding a lot of time.
I like that. It sounds less formal than let's schedule a meeting. It implies a quicker, more direct chat.
Yes, it's efficient. All right, how about to be on the same page? This one is crucial for teamwork.
On the same page. I feel like I hear this when there's a disagreement or when someone wants to make sure everyone understands.
You're right. It means that everyone understands and agrees with the current situation or plan. When you're on the same page, there's no misunderstanding.
So, before we present to the client, let's make sure we're all on the same page about the pricing, meaning everyone agrees on the pricing details, no surprises.
Perfect example. Or, are we all on the same page about the project deadline? It's about alignment and shared understanding. It avoids problems later.
That makes so much sense. It's like everyone's reading from the same book, literally, but in this case, figuratively.
Exactly. Okay, let's go for one more idiom for now. To go the extra mile. This one shows dedication.
Go the extra mile, so more effort than expected?
You got it. It means to make a special additional effort to achieve something, more than what is required. It's about exceeding expectations.
Okay, so if a colleague helped me with a project, even when it wasn't their job, I could say, "Thank you for always going the extra mile, Sarah."
That's a wonderful example. It's a compliment. Or to satisfy our clients, sometimes we have to go the extra mile. It shows commitment and great service.
I can definitely see how using these idioms can make your English sound so much more natural and expressive. It's not just basic words, it's like adding flavor.
Absolutely, Ava. They add richness to your language. Now, before we move on to phrasal verbs, let's quickly review these idioms. Try to repeat after me or just think about what they mean.
Great idea. This is where you, our listeners, get to actively practice.
First one, get the ball rolling, meaning to start an activity. Repeat, get the ball rolling.
Second, think outside the box, meaning to think creatively. Repeat, think outside the box.
Third, touch base, meaning to briefly communicate. Repeat, touch base.
Fourth, on the same page, meaning everyone understands and agrees. Repeat, on the same page.
And finally, go the extra mile, meaning to make an extra effort. Repeat, go the extra mile.
Fantastic! Repeating these aloud really helps them stick in your mind. Now, let's talk about phrasal verbs. They are super common and can be a bit tricky because they change meaning.
They definitely can, Ava. A phrasal verb is a verb combined with a preposition or an adverb, or sometimes both, which creates a completely new meaning. The meaning is often different from the original verb alone.
So, a simple verb like bring changes when you add up to it, right?
Exactly. Let's take bring up as our first example. If you bring up something, it means to mention it or introduce it into a conversation or discussion.
Okay, so I'll bring up the new budget during the team meeting. So, I'll mention the new budget.
Perfect. Or he brought up an interesting point about the project's timeline. It's about introducing a topic or an idea.
That's super useful. I've heard bring up used a lot, but sometimes I wasn't sure if it meant to lift up literally. Now I get it.
That's the trick with phrasal verbs. The little word changes everything. Our next one is fill in. This is a common one if someone missed something important.
Ah, like my earlier example. Can you fill me in? So, can you give me the information I missed?
Precisely. To fill someone in means to provide someone with missing information. If a colleague was absent, you might say, "I'll fill you in on what happened in the meeting." It's about updating them.
I use this one quite a bit. It's so much more natural than saying, "I will tell you all the information you do not have." It's quick and clear.
Right? It's efficient. Next, let's look at catch up. This one has a few meanings, but in the workplace, it often relates to getting up to date.
Catch up. So I need to catch up on my emails means I need to read all the emails I haven't read yet?
Exactly. It means to reach the same level or standard as someone else, or to get up to date with work, information, or tasks. You might also say, "Let's catch up over coffee," meaning let's meet and share news.
So it's about closing a gap, either in tasks or in communication. I like how it can be used for both work and social interactions.
It's super versatile. Okay, next, run by. This is great for getting approval or feedback.
Run by. Is that like run past someone?
Very similar. To run something by someone means to tell someone about something so they can give their opinion or approval. It's like a quick check.
So, I'll run the proposal by the manager before sending it to the client, meaning I'll show the proposal to the manager for approval.
You got it. It's a very common phrase in professional settings. You want to run an idea by your team to get their feedback. It's about getting that initial buy-in.
That's a good one to remember. It really sounds like you're part of a professional team when you use that.
It does. How about the opposite of getting approval, shoot down? This one is less positive.
Shoot down. Oh, like a bad idea getting rejected?
Exactly. To shoot down an idea or a proposal means to reject it or criticize it strongly. It's when an idea isn't accepted.
So, the boss shot down my suggestion for a new project, meaning the boss rejected my suggestion.
That's it. It can be a bit harsh, but it's very common. Don't be afraid to propose new ideas. Even if some get shot down, others might succeed.
Okay, definitely an important one to understand, even if we hope our ideas don't get shot down too often.
Haha, true that. Let's talk about call off. This means to cancel something.
Call off. So, like, the meeting was called off due to a last-minute emergency. It was canceled.
Spot on. Any event, plan, or meeting can be called off. They decided to call off the outdoor event because of the heavy rain.
Simple and direct. I can see myself using that one a lot.
Absolutely. Let's add put off. This is about delaying something.
Put off. So, not canceling, but postponing?
Exactly. To put off means to delay or postpone something until a later time. It's very common when scheduling changes.
So, we had to put off the presentation until next week because the slides weren't ready, meaning we had to postpone the presentation.
Perfect. Or don't put off sending that important email, do it now. It's a gentle reminder not to procrastinate.
I can relate to that one. We all have things we sometimes want to put off. Okay, one more phrasal verb. How about set up?
Set up is fantastic because it means to arrange or establish something. It could be a meeting, a system, or even equipment.
So, can you set up a meeting with the client for next Tuesday? That means, can you arrange a meeting?
Yes, exactly. Or we need to set up a new system for tracking customer feedback. It's about organizing and preparing.
That's super helpful. Setup is so versatile. You can set up a new office, set up a computer, set up an appointment. I love phrasal verbs that have many uses.
Me too. It really shows how you can simplify your speech with them. All right, listeners, let's practice these phrasal verbs briefly. Repeat them and their meanings.
First, bring up, meaning to mention. Repeat, bring up.
Second, fill in, meaning to give information. Repeat, fill in.
Third, catch up, meaning to get up to date. Repeat, catch up.
Fourth, run by, meaning to get approval feedback. Repeat, run by.
Fifth, shoot down, meaning to reject an idea. Repeat, shoot down.
Sixth, call off, meaning to cancel. Repeat, call off.
Seventh, put off, meaning to delay. Repeat, put off.
And eighth, set up, meaning to arrange or establish. Repeat, set up.
Excellent. Now that we've covered quite a few idioms and phrasal verbs, let's try a mini conversation. Lily and I will act out a short dialogue using some of these expressions in a real workplace scenario. Pay attention to how they are used naturally.
All right, scene 1. Monday morning, post-weekend. Ava, you start.
Hey Lily, good morning! Are you ready to get the ball rolling on that new client proposal?
Morning, Ava. Absolutely. I was hoping we could touch base quickly before the team meeting to make sure we're on the same page about the main points.
Good idea. I was just about to bring up a few things myself. I've been thinking, maybe we should try to think outside the box for the presentation design. The old template is a bit boring.
I agree. Let's definitely aim for something fresh. Also, could you quickly fill me in on what happened with the budget review last Friday? I had to leave early.
Sure. Well, Mark actually shot down my idea for the initial marketing spend. He thinks it's too high. We might need to put off sending the final budget until we revise it.
Oh, that's a shame. Okay, I'll need to catch up on those details later. Before we finalize anything, I'll run my revised numbers by you. Does that sound good?
Perfect. And I'll set up a quick meeting for us with Mark this afternoon to try and go the extra mile to convince him.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Ava. See you in a bit.
See you.
All right, listeners, how was that? Did you notice how naturally those idioms and phrasal verbs flowed in the conversation? It wasn't forced. It was just how people really talk in an office.
Exactly. When you integrate them into your speech, you sound less like you're translating from your native language and more like a native English speaker. It's truly amazing.
It really is. Now, we know learning these can feel like a big task, but we have some tips to help you succeed and build your fluency.
Tip number 1. Start small. Don't try to memorize 100 idioms and phrasal verbs at once. Pick 2 or 3 new ones each week and focus on understanding and using those.
That's excellent advice. Overloading yourself leads to frustration. Consistency over intensity, right? Tip number 2. Listen actively. When you're watching English movies, TV shows, or even listening to podcasts like ours, really pay attention to how native speakers use these expressions.
Yes, context is everything. When you hear an idiom or phrasal verb in a real situation, it makes so much more sense. Try to guess the meaning first, then check it if you're unsure.
And my third tip, practice, practice, practice. The best way to get comfortable using these is to try them out. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Say them aloud when you're alone, use them in practice conversations, or even write them down in example sentences.
Yes, embrace those mistakes. They are just part of the learning process. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become, and soon you'll be using "get the ball rolling" without even thinking about it.
That's the ultimate goal, isn't it? To speak English naturally and confidently, especially in a professional environment. We covered get the ball rolling, think outside the box, touch base, on the same page, go the extra mile for idioms.
And for phrasal verbs, we went through bring up, fill in, catch up, run by, shoot down, call off, put off, and set up. That's a lot of practical phrases to add to your English toolkit.
It truly is. So, to all our amazing listeners, thank you for joining us today on Thesaurus Thrive. We hope this episode has helped you feel more confident about using idioms and phrasal verbs in your workplace conversations.
Remember to like this episode, share it with a friend who's also learning English, and subscribe to our channel for more practical English lessons. Your support really helps us continue creating content to help you thrive.
Keep practicing daily, stay curious, and don't be afraid to experiment with these new expressions. You're doing great.
That's all for today from me, Ava.
And from me, Lily. We'll catch you in the next episode.